Welcome back. We're the recruiting podcast with Rob, DMV Sports, and Old Sun Sports. We have a great guest on today. His name is Andrew Brinson. He's I believe a high 3-star recruit. He's got offers from just about everyone in the coastal United States and all over the country. He's one of the top players in the state of Florida. His name is Andrew Brinson. Give it up, folks. Welcome. How are you doing, Andrew?
I'm doing good, just getting through the week, getting through the month, doing what I can, controlling what I can control.
Good stuff.
So let's hop right into it, Grady.
All right.
So, Andrew, let's start off with, over the summer you transferred to school. Where'd you transfer to?
I went from Steinbrenner to Gaither.
What went into that decision to transfer, and why now? Why at this point?
Oh, well, I'm going into my, my senior season. I had some family stuff going on. I'm moving with my dad. So, I wasn't zoned for my old school anymore. So, I ended up having to come to Gaither. But it's the closest school near me.
And what do you think you bring to that team that's going to make them successful? How does your skill set fit in there?
I think they just had a great player, Eugene Wilson, come out there. I think I'm gonna fit his shoes well. Fit in the lane. Be a leader for the team, lead them into the state championship, hopefully, and just filling that gap that that was left.
So let's talk a little bit about the camps you've been going to now, and what do you have? What have you done? What are you going to do, and what do you have planned for in the future as far as that?
So far, camp-wise, I'm going to an Under Armour camp this Sunday, and right now that's the only camp I have planned. And when it comes to visits and all that, I have nothing official planned. I have unofficial tomorrow at UCF, and then I have another unofficial at USF March 30th.
Okay, March 30th. So let's talk a little more about the recruiting process. I remember a couple of years ago, you were just trying to get your name, and now everyone wants you. Tell me how does that feel, that change, and what do you think about that? How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm glad, my talents are, getting recognized the way, I hope they would. The career process has been picking up and talking to a lot of different coaches. It's just fun, talking to so many people, getting to know them and building relationships.
Yeah. Tell us a little, what are the best relationships with the schools you have the best relationship with right now?
Well, right now, me and Oregon State, we have a great relationship. Me and UCF, great relationship. Arkansas State have a good relationship, and all the other ones, kind of neutral, just, keep intact, keeping, in track of each other, day to day, seeing how we're doing, just checking up.
Well, you have so many offers. Do you have a list yet of maybe top 12, top 10?
Right now, I haven't made a list. That's definitely coming out soon, but right now, a list has not been made.
Okay, great. I'm sorry. You got anything to add?
No, good stuff. So tell us, the last couple months, what have you been doing as far as training goes? What's your training regimen looking
like? Training wise, I go to school, and then after school, we have practice from usually around 3 to 6. We lift, we do a little bit of plyometrics, and then we go out to the field and do a 7-on-7. And then, when I'm not doing that, I try my best to just, get to a training weight room available, lift some weights or go out to a field, practice the fundamentals of, playing corner, playing receiver, releases, back pedal, get out on my break, all that.
Good stuff. What is, as far as performance aspects go and your diet, what are you doing to fuel yourself to be the best athlete you can be?
Well, diet-wise, whatever available, I'm trying to eat. Try to stay away from fast food, sugar, sweets, all that other stuff. It's not really, necessary. Just trying to eat what I can, what's available to me, and make the most out of it.
Good stuff. Your next question, Rob.
So, Andrew, let's talk about some of your goals for your senior year as far as, team-wise, individually. and as far as off the field. Just give us a little rundown. What are your goals? What does that look like this year for you?
Well, every year I have a goal to at least double my numbers of last year. Try to double my numbers. I want at least 1,000 yards this year. I want at least 15 touchdowns, minimum. Defensive standpoint, I'm going to be playing both ways. So defensive, I want at least 3-4 picks, pick sixes, I want to hopefully, let up 0 catches of the year, more than 100 yards on me, playing man, that's kind of my goals right now, and leading my team to a state championship.
Man, you just dropped a jewel on us you didn't even know. So you're going to go both ways this year.
Yeah,
yes, sir, I am.
How did that come about, and what do you think about that? When's the last time you played defense, by the way?
Well, originally I actually was a corner. That was my original position.
Okay.
I got to high school, I was told to switch to receiver. So then, I ended up playing receiver all 3 years of my high school. The only time I really played DB was 7-on-7 out of high school. Was the only time I played DB. I also go to my DB trainer, but I've never played, DB in 11-on-11.
Wow. So what do you think that challenge, how do you think that's going to be a different challenge for you this year? Going into your last year, you're going to play both.
Well, I think it's just going to all be new, there's more stuff to worry about. It's 11-on-11, hitting, it comes to run game and pass game, but, I know I got it in me, it's nothing new to me. Going to make ball players make plays.
That's true.
Good quote.
Yeah, that's what dogs are.
What,
I'm sorry.
I was just going to ask, what are you looking for as far as the university goes? Are there any particular traits or characteristics of a university? Do you want to go to a big school, small school, somewhere rural, somewhere urban, somewhere what? I guess you could answer any way you want to.
Well, honestly, I'll go anywhere in the country, really. The biggest thing to me, the name doesn't really matter, big or small, little, whatever. It's just I just want coaches, that can develop me as a player and also as, a person, so because, football only lasts so after football, I want a coach that's going to be able to, grow me as a person. So, after this, I'm able to, handle myself, be able to portray myself well. That's kind of what I'm looking for in a college when it comes to football standpoint.
Good answer.
Hey, I see you rocking the 2 on your neck. Is there going to be a number change down the line?
Actually, yes, I'm going to be rocking number 2 this year.
Why number 2? And what made you think to change the number?
Well, actually, in Little League, I was rocking number 2 for a while, and I changed it in high school because when I got to high school, so I already had it. And the opportunity, when I came to my new school, the opportunity was available. Coach said I can get whatever number I want. I wanted to go back to the number 2 because that's also the number my father in high school.
Okay. When I see that number 2, who I think of, right?
Who?
Deion Sanders, yeah. Nice, good.
I try to play
good stuff.
I try to play.
You say you try to play like them?
Yes, sir.
Now, them some big shoes.
Yeah, there it is. But, I know I can feel them.
I know that's right. There you go. Ultimate confidence. Go ahead, Grady. Jump in.
Do you play any other sports other than football, like spring or winter sports? Or do you have any other interesting hobbies or activities or talents you do?
I don't play any other sport. This year I'm not. I'm just focusing on football. It's my senior year. You don't want to get any other injuries.
Yeah, that's a good perspective.
But as in hobbies, besides working out and
football,
on my off time, I try to learn how to cook the best I can. So, so I can help my diet and all that, and just chilling with family, just relaxing, make sure my body's well.
Good answer.
So I know football takes a lot of time, especially now these days. You guys go to the camps, you guys go on all these visits. How do you balance family life, personal life, relationship life, all that in one? When you only have so much time, you got to go to school, you got to keep your grades. How do you create that balance for yourself?
Just make a schedule. Have a calendar, make a schedule. Track down what you're doing, so you're trying to make sure, what you're doing this day, what you're doing this day. So, there's no surprise, there's no like, this day, I didn't know this was happening. Make sure you track down everything so, you're not overwhelmed. And, so you have everything down to, from beginning to end, so, everything that's happening.
That's good stuff. I got one more question. Well, it's not really a question. Yeah, it is a question, I guess. There's a lot of kids, 10th grade, 11th grade that don't have the offers or just not getting the interest that they thought they would. And you being in a position where you didn't get interest and now you're getting interest, what would you say to them kids that's frustrated and that's, kind of questioning what they're doing here?
Well, how I thought of it was, all it takes is one, once you get that one, that's all you really need, just keep sending out film, just keep talking to coaches, you never know what may happen, something may open up, there's lots of colleges out there, just because you're not D1, just because you're not Power 5, doesn't mean, you're not able to go to college, there's all a bunch of opportunities, Just always got to keep on track, control what you can control is what I believe in.
That's a good answer. And being as you said, all college are Power 5. When you weren't getting that interest, did you think, D2 would be an option for you? And were you open to that option? Because a lot of these kids I talk to, they don't want to talk about D2. They don't want to talk about D3. They act like it's the plague. What would you say to that? How did you feel in that situation? What could you shed light on in that?
Honestly, me as a person, it's when it comes to football, D1, D2, D3, whatever opportunity I'm allowed to be able to continue playing football, I would take, You never know what could happen, you may make it out of D3, make it to the NFL, you may be the first one to do that. You never know what may happen. Playing football at the next level is an opportunity regardless. NAIA, JUCO, D3, academy, any of that, it's all an opportunity.
I agree. And I always tell the kids, if you're going to school, you're winning. You're getting your degree, you're winning. Especially if you can get your degree for free. Man, you're
absolutely 100%
you hit
right.
a home run.
I'm
good, Grady, on my
I was
question.
going to ask one last question. What kind of tunes you listening to these days? Like, what's on your playlist?
Well, on my playlist, I listen to a variety. I'm a very open-minded when it comes to that. I listen to a little bit of, a little bit of rap music. I listen to a little bit of, a tiny bit of kind of singing, R&B.
Yeah.
I'm open to a lot of things. I don't really have a strict playlist.
Just whatever.
I got one more question. Do you listen to music before your game?
Do I listen to what before my game?
Music.
Yes,
your
sir.
pregame?
Well, usually when I'm with the team, I listen to music, and then I'll kind of, right before the game, I kind of, go off my own, get my head in the game, listen. I just sit in silence for a little bit, when it's time to go, I go.
Is that, give us your whole pregame. How do you approach the game, and what do you do before the game? What are some of the things that, make you feel comfortable before you go out there and do your thing?
Well, usually, if it's a home game, I'll get ready with the team, listen to some music, and then before the game, I'll take 2 laps around my school, listen to some, slight, calm music, get my mind right, and then I'll head back, and head out.
Nice.
Good
I'm
stuff.
good. Andrew, man, it's always a pleasure talking to you. We're going to keep in touch.
Yeah,
Remember,
that'll wrap things up on my end. You guys, and anything else? Any shout outs, any acknowledgments you want to do while you're on the air?
Shout out to Coach Carson, my head coach. He's done a lot for me in the little time I've been with him. Shout out to, my parents, shout out to, my sister, my cousin, they've all done just my family in general, they've all done a lot for me, to get me where I am.
Yeah. Good
That's
stuff.
good stuff.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Andrew, for joining us on the recruiting show. It was really great pleasure talking with you.
Yes, sir. It was a great pleasure talking to y'all, too.
Keep balling, Andrew. 15 touchdowns. I'm looking for it.
Double those numbers up. Yeah. All right. Have a good evening.
Yes, sir. You too.